Hi everyone, now we'll discuss about the president, vice president and governor, their election, their appointment and impeachment procedure or removal procedure. So we'll discuss simultaneously so we can compare it and remember easily. So coming on to the first part, that is the president part. Here union executive means the president, the vice president, the prime minister and the council of minister and attorney general of India. So please remember, the union executive consists of the 5 members: president, vice president, prime minister, council of minister and the attorney general of India. The president election is not directly by the people, but it is through the member of electoral college. These electoral college member consist of elected member of both the houses of the parliament, that is Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha member, that is elected member only, whereas the legislative assembly of the state elected member, remember only elected member, no nominated member of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and the legislative assembly will involve in the election of president. The elected member of legislative assembly of union territory, these both are Delhi and Pondicherry. Remember only elected members of these three houses will cast their vote during the election of the president. This election of the president is based on the preferential voting system, and this is conducted, as we have said, this is conducted by the Central Election Commission Board, and this election of the president will be in the secret ballot. Coming on to the vice president, this also will be not be through the direct by the people, but it is by the indirect election, as in case of president. So elected members of the member will include for the cast their vote. These are member of the both house of the parliament, that is Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha member will cast their vote for the vice president of India. Thus the electoral college is from the electoral college of the president of India, as in the following two respect: that the elected as nominated member of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha will cast their vote for the vice president, and which nominated member will not take part in case of election of the president, whereas in the vice president even the nominated member will also vote, whereas no state or union territory legislative assembly will cast their vote in the election of the vice president. Please remember that only Lok Sabha member, whether he might be elected or nominated, will cast their vote, that is Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha member, elected as well as nominated member, will cast their vote in the vice president of India, election of vice president. The appointment of the governor, remember there is no election regarding the election of the governor. So governor is neither directly elected by the people nor elected by the constituting any electoral college or any in case of president. He is appointed by the president by the warrant. Remember, by the warrant under the hand and seal. Remember, the president will appoint the governor. So he is nominee of the central government. So he is the nominee of the central government, and Constitution lay down the only two qualifications regarding the governor. These are, he should be as president of India and he should completed the age of 35. Remember, he should be citizen and he should completed the age of 35. Additional to this, there are two particular conventions: that he should be outsider, that he should not belong to the state where he is appointed. That remember, one state is there, the elected governor should not belong to that particular state, so he should be from the other state. Second point says that any person the governor is appointed, president duty that he should consent to that respect to CM regarding that I am appointing this and this so and so person to as a governor to your state. So this should be concerned by the president to the CM, that is a state CM. So this is because that for smooth functioning of the constitution machinery in the state. So as we know, this is just a convention, so all parties, political parties are following this. So in case of any violation, or if we don't, or if the government will not follow this first and second point. So there will be no court of, that is for justification we can't go to court. Coming on to the president qualification, what are the qualification of the president? So he should be citizen of India, he should have completed the age of 35. So he should be qualified for the election of member of Lok Sabha. Remember, Lok Sabha, he should qualified for the election of the Lok Sabha, and he should not have any office of profit any under union or state or any local authority. And oath and affirmation by the president, there are three in this regard. There are three points. These are: he should be to faithfully execute the office, and he preserve, protect and defend the constitution and law. He devote himself to serve and the well-being of the people of India. So this is one thing unique about the president. These are this is mentioned in our constitution about the oath and affirmation. Coming on to the qualification that about the vice president of India, he should be a citizen of India, he should complete at the age of 35, and he should, remember important, he should qualified for the election of the member of Rajya Sabha. Remember, Rajya Sabha. And oath and affirmation is carried taken by the vice president to that is to bear a true faith and allegiance of Constitution of India, and he should faithfully discharge the duty of the office. So these are the two important points. And the oath of office is administered by the president, whereas the oath of president is administered by the Chief Justice of Supreme Court. The term of the president is 5 years as date that enter into the office. However, he can resign by the any time by addressing the resignation to the vice president. Remember, president will give the resignation to the vice president. Further, he can, even vice presidents also will give the resignation to the vice president only, president only. So in middle case, he can be removed by the impeachment, the process of impeachment. The impeachment process is carried out by the violation of the constitution. So violation of constitution has been not mentioned or well defined in our constitution. The impeachment charges can be initiated by the either of the houses, whether it might be Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. On both house, the impeachment procedure can be carried out, and it is also well and wish of the presiding officer to concerned or not. And charges should be signed on 1/4 member of the house. 1/4 member of the house, and 14 days notice shall be given before any proceedings has taken to the president. So here the charges should be signed by the 1/4 member of the house, and the 14 days notice shall be given to the president. After the impeachment resolution has to be passed, the majority majority of 2/3 of total membership of the house, that is 2/3 member of members that should be present in the house during voting, and vote value should be the total vote value should be that the total strength, what is the total strength of the house to the 50% plus 1, that is the strength, that is the voting strength. And on this voting strength, the resolution or impeachment resolution has to be passed, and should investigate the charges. So if after a resolution has passed, it will be sent to the other house, and there also there should investigation and charges should be carried out. So president has the right to appear to the represent in the Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. He can give the justification about what he has done. In other house, he is subsumed the charges. In our other charge also, it is confirmed that he has made something has happened. So in that case, the impeachment resolution has to be passed in the same manner as resolution has passed. As mentioned here, the 2/3 of the total membership, the president stand removing from his office from the date of which the resolution has passed. So this is about the removal procedure. For the removal procedure, who member will vote for the vote for or to pass the resolution, the nominated member of the both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha will take part into the impeachment procedure. That is now nominated as well as elected members will take. Only Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha members will vote, whereas the elected members of the state legislative assembly and union territory Delhi and Pondicherry will not cast their vote during the impeachment procedure. Whereas the president when the vacancy is going to be caused by the expiry of the term of sitting of the president, the election to be fulfilled by the vacancy before the expiry of date term only. So some so and so date has there to vacancy will be there, before that only the election of president should be carried out. If the office falls vacant by resignation or removal, death or otherwise any such condition, then the election should be fulfilled, that the election should be carried out within the 6 months as dated as vacancy, so that when the president has given resignation or any death or any such things happened on the day of the resignation has given, within six months the vacancy should be filled. So this is mentioned that within 6 months period, whereas for the vice president it has not mentioned. For the election of the vice president it has not mentioned. So newly elected president remain in the office full time for the 5 years from the date assumed the charges in his office. So he will remain in the 5 years. So coming on to the important part of vice president is that his the vice president term, as discussed, it is the 5 years term. So however he can give a resignation for addressing a letter to the vice president. So he can be removed from before the completion of his term by the impeachment procedure. So by resolution that has to be passed by the absolute majority, that is we have discussed that majority of the total membership of the house. So this should be agreed. So there is no necessary that there is absolute majority should be required in the Lok Sabha as well. So there is agreed to by the Lok Sabha, that is the norm, that is simple majority should be there with the Lok Sabha, that is agreed by the Lok Sabha, but not resolution can be removed unless the date of 14 days notice should be given. Here also the 14 days notification shall be given before any further procedure is carried out for removing or impeachment of vice president. And the vacancy is going on caused by the expiration or a term of sitting of the vice president. It should be filled, or suddenly the vice president gave a resignation or sudden death, it has to happen, it should be filled, it should be filled before the expiry of the term. So date the expiry of the vice president has to taken place, before that only the election of vice president should be carried out. If in case the resignation or removal of death or anything such has happened, it should be filled, this vacancy should be filled as soon as, remember here, as soon as possible after the vacancy. So in here as soon as has been mentioned, whereas in case of a president within the 6 months the vacancy should be filled. This has been mentioned in case of president, whereas in vice president it had been mentioned as soon as the occurrence of vacancy. A newly elected vice president shall remain in the office for the 5 years. So remember this point, that should complete the year of 5 years. Coming on to the governor shall hold the term of office for 5 years, however the dated on entry up to the office. However, the term of 5 years are subjected to the pleasure. Remember, the pleasure of the president. Further, he can be resigned at any time, addressing the resignation to the president. Remember, governor also resignation to the president only, vice president resignation to the president only. The Supreme Court held that the pleasure of the president is not justiciable. So it is not justiciable. The governor shall have no security of tenure and no fixed term of office. So he can be removed by the president at any time. So constitution does not lay down any ground of which the governor may removed by the president. So it is the pleasure that there is any particular ground on which the president has to be removed. The president may transfer the governor or appoint from one state to the another. So it is also power that one state to another the president can change the governor. The further the governor term of expiry may be reappointment, that after 5 years the president has power to reappoint him for the same post or any other state. The vice president, he is the they if followed the two functions. These are he is acting as the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Even though he is the vice president of India, he is the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. So in this capacity, his power and functions are similar to the speaker of Lok Sabha. So we'll call Lok Sabha presiding officer as a speaker, and Rajya Sabha presiding officer as a chairman. So this is about president, vice president. So I hope that I have cleared you almost all the point. In coming next slide, I will be discussing about the veto power of president and the governor. So let's revise you once that. So we have discussed about union territory and what are consisting of. We have discussed the election of the president, who are involved and who are not involved in that, and the appointment of the governor. We have discussed who will appoint the governor, that is the president will appoint the governor. Along with, there are two conventions. The president will what are the qualification? He should be citizen, age of 35, he should be qualified for the election for the Lok Sabha, and oath and affirmation. And vice president, we have discussed about the election, he should be qualified to the member of the Rajya Sabha and oath and affirmations. And the term of office of the president, it is 5 years. In case of resignation, it should be filled within the 6 months, and impeachment procedure will be carried out in the both house with the absolute majority. And these charges should be signed before carrying any signature. 1/4 member should be signed. It is a well wish of the presiding officer to take the charges or not. And the president, the majority, the absolute majority, that is the 2/3 member of the total strength of the house, this should be the voting should be there. And two important points we have discussed about the nominated members as well as the elected members. And we have also discussed about the vacancy of the president. It should be filled within the 6 months, and new elected members will continue up to 5 years. And whereas the president term of office is 5 years, in case of removal, only in case of impeachment, only Rajya Sabha has the absolute majority, whereas agreed with the Lok Sabha, and initial 14 days notice shall be given to the vice president. The vacancies should be filled as soon as vacant. The governor, it is a well and wish of the president to appoint him and or remove him. The term of office is 5 years only. The president had the power, he can reappoint him for the same post. As the president, we have discussed about the vice president is ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha, and in this capacity his power and functions remain the same. So thank you. I hope I have cleared about the vice president. So coming lectures about the veto power of president and the governor.